Why, hello everyone, and welcome to a casted game of Age of Mythology Retold. This should be a fun one today. It's actually a bit more of a critique, actually. Manor Desert here as the Oranos player in the blue has requested I review one of his games to try and see what he can do better in this game and just going forward. I've talked with him quite a bit on Discord about strategies and the like, so we'll see what else we can help him with on this one. And his opponent today is Isis, with Dwati 5820 over here in the red on the north side of the map. I think I should swap these around. Oh, wrong button. It's one of these guys. There we go. Now it's more aligned with Oranos on the right, Isis on the left. Perfect. Alright, so the ELOs today, we have Dwati with 934 ELO for this match, and Manor Desert was at 1017 during this match. Okay, let's see where we're at. Standard scouting. Pretty good, getting that tri-pattern around. What relics are we working with? It's a 5 TC Megalopolis for this one. So we've got a town center favor sort of thing here. Okay. They generate favor and cost a bit less. Apologies for my cat meowing in the background. Hi, kitty. She wants pets. Anyway, we also have a farm gather rate increase, which one is this? Pierce armor. That's a good one. Then finally, we have a temple. Oh, just the temple cost? Huh. That must be a new one. I haven't seen that one before. I know there's one for temple tax, but it's just a straight up temple cost reduction. That's pretty cool. Alright, this map should be quite interesting. We got the TC right in the center compared to all these TCs everywhere else. This should be quite an interesting one. This is an interesting strategy, though. Sending goats around? Huh. Usually don't send goats around that much. I guess he's confident the Manor Desert isn't going to get him with the oracles, but not really what I would do, personally. Alright, so we got a temple coming up for Manor Desert. No temple yet for Dwati. One thing you have to be a little mindful of versus Egyptian is that these obelisks basically have the sight range of a full-sized oracle. It's a little less, but not by much. So if you can see the obelisk can see you. That's one thing you always have to keep in mind. Alright, temple is up. Currently going for at least 8. Is he going to go for 9 citizens or just 8? We'll see in a moment. Temple's coming up for the Isis player. Alright, Manor Desert, are you going for 8 or 9 citizens? Let's see. Alright, 8 citizen build order it is today. Alright, so that's a pretty good one. A little more economic, which is fine, but with this, especially with Isis, you can basically never deny a second TC, as that's something from Isis as Oranos. It's nearly impossible. Hi, kitty. She is meowing a lot today. Anyway, as I was saying, you can't really deny just because of the timing that Isis can do with getting the gold mine with prosperity. Though it looks like Isis isn't really going for that at the moment. Grabbing some of these relics. Farm's good. What you really want is this one, though. That's going to be really useful, especially against Egypt with their chariot archers. These obelisks are going to be a bit of an issue, though. They're in excellent positions. It looks like Dwati's going for that relic, though, so unfortunately, that one will not be available for Manor Desert. Thus far, everything seems to be just fine. Getting extra mana up for Manor, perfect. I don't think this map has tons of goats, if memory serves. Yeah, it's not that many. Manor Desert is up through Prometheus in this instance. Okay. Got a Prometheus build. Definitely very economic. You want to make sure you get that Theft of Fire right away and start heroizing units as fast as you can. You want to heroize these citizens. That's the key thing with Oranos and Prometheus, is you need to start heroizing those citizens. You're missing out on some of that classical age damage by going this route, so you need to make it up with that Valor God Power. That's very useful, as it completely negates the cost of heroizing those units. Alright, we did go up through, I think it was Anubis? Where is the myth unit? Where is the myth unit? Where is the myth unit? Am I blind? Where is it? Ah, there it is. Got Anubite here. Finally got the first Valor. Where to go on to? Ah, onto the wood. Okay. But yeah, you just basically want to keep on using this over and over again until it's finished up. With Prometheus, you want to be going for... Since you're not going for a rush, the best thing to do with Prometheus is to go for economic advantage. Looks like he might be going for a fast heroic. Maybe. He hasn't gone for a second TC, so the fast heroic seems likely. Alright, good. Taking out those obelisks. That's the perfect thing you want to be doing with that Promethean during this match. Going around taking those guys out. We'll see how it goes, though. Thus far, both players, neither one going for a second town center, which is fine. Let's see here. A couple priests going around the back. That's interesting. One thing you will want to keep in mind is that you're going to run out of food pretty quickly here. Okay, you have most of what you need now. Still, probably you would want a bit more, I think. Let's see. Okay. And you still got the one obelisk over there. Alright, yep, he's going for the fast heroic build. A little bit of a slower one. You don't need... Once you get that 500 gold, you really... Since you're going for the heroic age with that timing, you want to get onto that food right away. Once this is out though, you're going to be able to get to heroic, but that's it. As my cat is ringing bells. She is really determined to disrupt today's video, isn't she? Anyway, yeah, see here, you have a interesting dynamic where you've got... You could have started the age up right now. You have 200 extra gold you could have had on that wood right away, and because of that, the ISIS player is going to get to that heroic age first. Alright, you've got the resources you need for heroic. And there it goes for Thea. Excellent choice. Thea is an excellent heroic age god. Going for those... Looks like you might be going for those Contarius. Oh, and the ISIS player is using her Prosperity. So this is going. She's gonna have a lot of gold at the end of this. Probably gonna go for some kind of Migdal Stronghold play, is my guess, but we shall see. Let's see here. All right. Alright, since you're going for this forward location, you'll definitely want to get some sky passages up. They're in a very vulnerable position. Even though this is a lot of food, you have to make sure it's safe. Another thing to keep in mind is that you definitely want to make sure that you have enough population for when it hits there, so we'll see how things go, though. Alright, both players just waiting for that age up to come through. Nephthys gives the Scorpion Man, that's right. Scorpion Man, and I forget what the god power is. Is it the Locusts? I don't remember for sure. But at this point, he can see everything. Like, he can see all of it, and you can see he's going for that second TC. So, you know, this TC is going to be right there. You need to get that out right away and take out that town center if you can. You're trying to, but there's a lot of priests there. You need to get units up. That's not going to do it. That shockwave would helps a little bit, but it's not going to do a ton. You have to be very careful with the Stymphalian Bird because all of Egypt's heroes are heroes. They're ranged. They're priests, pharaohs, and all of that. Into the Sky Passage. That's the way to go. Good thing of having it up. Alright. And looks like we got Plague of Serpents coming through. Yeah, see, this is where the issue comes in. These priests will just shred through that Stymphalian Bird. And that second town center is up for Dwadi. Right in the middle. And there we go. That's what he was going for with that lots of gold. A mid-gold stronghold up, denying this gold mine and this food. You're trying to get those techs up, but you have to be make sure you get some. You have to get a lot of value out of these. Second town center here. Interesting. Okay. All right. You're going for units and second town center. You basically have no food income, so you will have very little actual units here. You're going to have to play very defensively since you went for the second town center. You have to play very defensively and let that economic bonus build up to try and match it. See how things go. You are ahead currently. I'm not sure what happened there, but currently you are ahead. You've got the Dryads, which is good. Alright. At this point, your game plan needs to be get the second town center up, try build an army, but stay back and stay defensive. You're going to be at a slight disadvantage because Dwadi had that up for a bit longer. Is he? Let's see here. He's not producing enough food. That's why he's not producing any. You do not want to be going into that mid goal. You saw that one coming up, so now you know it's there. You can't go into that. You need to sit back, probably get some palaces up eventually. Teching up, I don't know about that. Like, you're investing a lot into technologies that don't do a ton, if we're being honest. Like, the heavy upgrades for the Contarius is good, but these copper armors and shields, that's a lot of resources for not much value. Realistically, what you should be doing is sending these Contarius out to try and see if there are locations that you can strike, like over here with these villagers, going around to the back. You saw all this Fort Ocus up front, which means most likely his base is not as well defended. Currently, you're just sort of sitting here, trying to get as many technologies as you can, without any army. That's a bit of an issue. Like, you've got 5 Contarius, a couple Terma and Catapultes. What are you doing with it? You need to be doing something with what you've got. Especially with going with Thea, you need to be using those Contarius to do damage. That's the key thing. Alright, what are you trying to go for? Alright, going for those zebras, that's fine. Although, keep in mind, you can see the Obelisk can see you. He knows you're going there. Alright, taking out some serpents is fine. Reducing the number there. This is perfectly fine, just poking around the outside edge. Doing some damage a little bit here and there. That's perfectly fine, just don't overcommit too much. He's got a lot of defenses here with that mid-goal stronghold. This thing, especially when it's empowered by the Pharaoh, can be potent. And it looks like that God Power Radius protection is up for the Isis player. You're still in a decent spot. You can still win this. You have to keep in mind, though, your food. You're not producing citizens. Oh, no. Yeah. This could be a problem. You're not producing enough food to maintain citizen production. You're falling behind, even though you have the second town center. You haven't really produced many citizens since. You have to keep that in mind. Like, these pre-queued technologies, if it hits at a bad timing, it can completely gut your citizen production. Like, you're behind by quite a bit. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be an issue for you. You're already behind in terms of production. Pushing in here. I would not have done that personally. Maybe with the Contarius, but not everything in there. You did get the Ancestors out, which is good. But at this point, you need to be pulling back. Those Ancestors plus everything else under this mid-goal stronghold, all your army is just going to fall. You have some Destroyers out, which is okay, but you need to be focusing onto that mid-goal stronghold right away. But it waited way too long to get out. Get out from underneath. Don't turn back yet. Get out from underneath the mid-goal stronghold. That guy's a heavy damage dealer. And just like that, you lost a lot of the army advantage you had. Yeah, this ain't great. And you're still missing some citizens missing some of that citizen production because of that food drop. Yeah, unfortunately, this is just, you hate to see it. And now we've got a 38 army advantage for the Dwadi. Dwadi, is at pop cap. He is having issues there, but I don't think it's enough, really. Like, it's such a huge disadvantage, and you're only at equal eco because of that citizen issue. That is the issue with these pre-queue technologies. They can suddenly drain your resources when you're not expecting it. You have to be very careful with that. Make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Like right now, you have lots of gold. Your food is an issue. And you're still pre-queuing technologies. Oh no, you don't need technologies here. You need army. You need to be disrupting what Dwadi is doing. At this point, what you should be doing is getting some Contarius out, going around, away from this fortified location, to see what you can hit on the sides. Like, you know that he's not going to be that all of his villagers are not going to be right here in the center. They're going to be off to the side somewhere. You can't see everything, but you can deduce that he's not going to have everything right here in the center. You saw that food was almost up, so he's not going to be there for much longer. He's going to have to go to another food mine or start on farms. That's something you should consider as well. Oh my word, mattered. 1, 2, we have 9 technologies queued up. And here we go. Here's the issue we were talking about before. Like, if you can see the Obelisk can see you. Oh no, and Mythic Age is coming through for Dwadi. And a second mid-goal stronghold. The center position is not assailable at the moment. You need to not go in there. Do not go in there without destroyers. Lots of destroyers. And unfortunately, you've used all your resources up on so many technologies. Even re-queuing them, you don't have enough production or resources for much of anything. Oh boy. Yeah, you kind of just... You haven't really been responding to his aggression. You've just sort of been throwing yourself into the fortified position over and over again. In this instance, it's better to ignore the fortified position and go around, especially as with Thea, who's not very great at a head-on attack, but instead is much better with those Contarius raids. You need to be going around the outside edge. Also, keep in mind those obelisks. Always a big thing. Mythic Age is about to come through for the Isis player. Let me get some water during this lull. Alright. You are getting your economy recovered slowly, which is good. Mythic Age is in, though. He's got that Son of Osiris. You're still here. You know that he knows you're here. These citizens need to pull back. This is not a fortified position. This is just luring you out every time. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is what you should have done that second time, or even from the beginning. Sky Passage is cheap. It's simple to produce. Needs to be gotten pretty quickly, so that needs to be your priority. At this point, there's basically no food left here, so not worth sticking around. And it looks like those catapults are coming through, so your base is going to start getting sieged down. Atlantean does not have a good ranged siege option in the Heroic Age, so you're not going to have a good answer for this. Best option would be to rush in with cavalry, but then those camel riders are going to be an issue, plus that Son of Osiris. I don't think this is a win. Let's see here. You've got lots of technologies. Realistically, what you should be doing at this point is getting Contarius out, trying to pull his army back, make him refocus away from this front line. Because at the moment, Dwadi can just focus on this one area, tons of defenses, tons of units, and do whatever the heck he likes. And yeah, he's got undefended laborers over here, over here, over here, everywhere. Because you aren't making him focus in multiple locations. You're just sort of doing head-to-head, and Oranos, Atlantean in general, is not that great at it. Alright, you're trying to go in, but unfortunately those camel riders, plus the Son of Osiris, is just going to destroy everything, unfortunately. And underneath the town center plus the 2 mid-goals, it's not going to do well for you, unfortunately, here. Those birds are going to help a little bit, but they're not going to last long into that Son of Osiris. There goes one shot. One bird's down. 2 catapults out at this point. Yeah, there it goes. Alright. Well, that was a good game overall, I think. You did start out okay. Going for that fast heroic is good, but if you're going for that, you're trying to go for a specific timing. With Oranos and Thea in this case, you're going for a timing of quickly getting those Contarius out. That's your goal. Maybe get like a couple of the unique mythic technologies, like the one that slows units down, that's useful for raining villagers. But you need to get those out and be sending those around to attack. You need to be raiding onto these villagers as soon as you can. That's the main advantage of those Contarius. Because you got spooked into staying in your main base and focused so heavily on these medieval strongholds, you kind of let Dwadi get you into exactly where he wanted you to be, which is trying to push into a heavily fortified Egyptian base when they have the advantage in siege, which unfortunately is a bit of a losing situation there. But yeah, I think that's what I think the main thing is stick with the game plan. With Prometheus, Thea, you have to go for the raiding. You gotta use what you got. Don't just focus on where your enemy wants to be. Focus on where they don't want you to be. If he wants you to be here, go over here or over here. Always go around to the back line with those Contarius. Try to find some value there. That would have been the best move in this case. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little critique. If you did, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!